All right. With that, let's jump into 5 years later. Still not really over that. Oh, that's how we leave now.
Last I saw, he was in the mess, as always.
Obelus? Obelus? Man, you got a weird name.
Welcome back, Sid.
Stace, he's a dutiful soul.
So we can call it a morning.
Almost done.
Man, look at all these named NPCs so that we can get side quests from them later. You don't have a name. I don't care about you. You can die when this hideaway gets wiped out.
Again! I seen schoolboys swing harder.
Hey, Joe.
Otto will want to know what happened in Costness. I expect he'll be in the mess.
Gazi who survived. Closeness. Well, we know Otto survived. Ding, ding, ding. Now get ready to rumble.
It's Sid.
Staying long this time?
Why do we have a man here who just polishes wood? Sir, get out of my hideaway, or get an actual job. It's funny too, because you would think like playing polisher, it's like you're talking about polishing wood. So you think that might be like a little lewd, but something about plank. Maybe I guess if it's the idea of someone who's planking or something, polishing it can make it a little bit lewd seeming, but it just, I don't see it there really. Lacan Lark's tongue. Are you the spoony bird, or did the spoony bird die and we replaced him with this dude?
As hither yon dance autumn winds atop the rotten pier. Of Sid's return the faithful sing across the blighted mere.
I think so. I kind of like the idea that like if you got to survive the first hideaway death, you just get your name now.
I am a tinker by trade, but I've always been fascinated with the art of healing.
If only there were a salve to mend a broken engine.
That would be neat.
Have we any more knuckle pies?
Oh, sadly not. Molly used the last of the chocobo in the stew.
DMCA takedown. To marinate your chocobo. Prepare a hen by draining blood and removing both head and feet. Offal, particularly the heart and liver, should be set aside for later use. Stir into a deep bowl watered wine, preferably of the red variety, honey, salt, pepper, nutmeg, and any other seasonal savory herbs if you so desire. Add to the bowl the dressed bird and let lay in a dark room for a single turn of the sun. Break the breastbone and feed your force meat thusly. Chop together the heart and liver of the chocobo and mix it with the crumb of a stale barm and pepio or kupo nuts, soaked in boiled cream, beaten mace, as much time as will lie on a gill penny, and fill the bird, but not overly so. I like how we've gone like no quantities for this ingredient, like for this recipe, until the time. Specifically for the time, it can only be as much as will lie on a gill penny. Everything else, eyeball that shit. Do it to smell, do it to taste. Just go wild. But the time, you gotta be careful with. Lard the breast with boar bacon and spit the bird, tying it at both ends, that the force meat not spill into the coals. Roast until skin is golden brown, taking care to baste regularly with drippings. Kenneth. Well, Kenneth's recipe survived. Our terms. Oh, that's a new one. I have to assume this is for the aquatic base. Maeve.
Welcome back, Sid.
Why are these options? What does this order a drink if you buy a round for the whole 10,000 gil? I'm not going to yet, but... So what, you can just waste money? You have the jukebox heroism. Hey, Captain. We'll chat with Maeve here.
How am I getting on? Ah, about as well as you'd expect of a barmaid pouring sour ale for penniless outlaws in the middle of the Deadlands. And it'd be worse than that if Molly here didn't make the best stew this side of Stonehair, even if it is mostly just yesterday's leavings.
Why is this fully
Don't tell her
voiced?
you heard that from me, though.
What? Oh god, the inconsistency. Everyone else, when I could chat with them, it was only partially voiced. I mean, I guess hers was only like 3 sentences, so maybe it had like... You got 1 minute of lines, and she was like one of the only ones that fit in that. Could be a purpose, but when I did the 10,000 to do anything, but people were like, "You're cool." I mean, they better be like, "You're cool" if you pay for their drinks.
Oh, you're not leaving already, are you?
Wait, let me back up. Get this conversation again. Oh, I'm not gonna do it now, okay.
Well, I should be getting back to it. Unless you'd rather...
But yes, welcome back to the new hideaway. Hugo Kupka destroyed our old hideaway, partially because he brought all his men, because like a bitch he wouldn't do it by himself. Then he also became a giant earth kaiju and just destroyed it himself, giving real mixed messages about his security and his own masculinity and his competence.
Shelves are closed. Sign outside should have told you. Yeah, the sign outside should have told you.
But there's no sign.
So it seems everyone else, or at least most of them, since they got to survive, they get names. Which, you know, that actually seems fair. Like, you have a bunch of NPCs drop down, you kill off half of them, the rest get names. No, that didn't activate, okay. Goots is okay. Karen's okay. The Labbing Stone is okay. Custom arcade mode, stage replay. Oh, that reminds me. Hey, I missed his 3rd pedigree, but now he's the Fangs of Ruin. Who's a good boy? Rogo's a good boy. Who's the Fangs of Ruin? Yes, he is. Okay. I got that. No, I read these. Okay. You only get a name when you survive a murder attempt. The Oath, Curiosity. Oh, the thing Gav said. A reminder of a promise made, a friendship forged, and a legacy inherited. Displayed in Cloud's chamber. That's cute. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay, it's just for doing no... without suffering damage. Okay. So they give you no hit medals. I feel a little bit better about that, because it's not like an overall quality of how you're playing thing. This does mean every other significant boss fight, I've at least taken 1 attack with my face, so. Dill does make a good point. Because that is true. Historically, you waited till children were a certain age. I think usually at least a couple years. But it would depend. Sometimes it was as late as, like, adolescence. Depending on the culture and everything. Phoenix feather. A brilliant red feather discovered by Clive on his person upon waking from his battle with Typhon. So we have a feather from our brother. Cool. I mean, now I guess it'd be fair if the Medal of Valor is turned off for that. I mean, it took a pretty not extreme and easy mid boss for me to get that at all, so. Alright. Well, that's still around. We'll talk to Kevin.
No, perhaps I should just have Blackthorn make me a new one.
Your name is Dragutin? Dragton? Dragutin. Guys, remind me of my next character needs to be named Dragutin. It can't be a Doman character, though. There's no way I can massage that into that. Okay, I thought you guys might talk, but whatever. What's up, Karen?
Well, don't just stand there gawping.
Ask about the hideaway, ask about the past 5 years. Weird things to ask about.
Well, you won't hear me complaining.
This inconsistency. I'm just gonna assume this means there's like 5 or more lines. She says it's even roomier than the old one was, which makes sense. Instead of being a hole in the ground, we're exposed to air out here. She's got her own stores and her own little counter. That's pretty nice for her. And since we're fighting the good fight, plenty of demands for her wares. It's been added to A list.
The only drawback.
Oh, but there's a drawback in the constant bloody racket. If it's not Doris and Otto barking their orders, Doris is a new name. It's Blackthorn and Bardolph banging away day and night. Okay, so Blackthorn looks like he got an assistant. His assistant's name is Bardolph. Hopefully Bardolph's parents are dead. If not, I'll put them on the list because they have it coming. Bardolph.
Still.
But she says if a pain in the air holds the price she has to pay to be Sid the Outlaw's partner in crime, she has herself a bargain, or so she'd say. Okay. Sid the Outlaw. Ah, it's nice that we left behind the name Clive. Unfortunately, we spent so long as Clive, I'm gonna remember that now, which is truly the biggest shame. Ask about the past 5 years. As I mentioned that she wonders if it really has been 5 years since we left the old place. Mentions time flies, which, you know.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Which is impressive at her age, being able to remember something like that. It's good to know. Gotta be careful about that. Everyone was waiting to treat Sid to a hero's welcome when Kupka's lot turned up. Oh, freaking Kupka. But they didn't know it was them. They just poured in like a plague of rats, cutting down anyone and anything that stood in their way. Blood and bodies were everywhere, and there was a voice crying out for Sid to save us in the midst of it all. She can't forget those cries. She'll never forget them. Even if she tries. Try as she might.
You're our leader now, Clive.
No, I am Sid the Outlaw. You abandoned my old name. Let's not say that, Joe Chris. Don't be insensitive. She asks us to promise her that we won't let anything like that happen again. Promise her that come what may, Sid will save them. And then we don't promise her because we're not that much of a moron.
Coin purse weighing you down?
You know what? Oh wait, I don't have a broadsword anymore? I don't have a Gaia blade anymore? Oh, because I upgraded them. That's right, I upgraded them. Clive, but with a soft C. There's some names ideas for NPCs, mostly by listing normal names and swapping the first letters. The names like Johnrad, Conathan, Pamuel, and Satrek. That's a good way of doing it. And it's kind of funny too, because instead of being like full fantasy ridiculous, that makes them seem both more grounded and yet less realistic and lived in. Because they're in that like uncanny range. You know what?
It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
I don't need these.
You'll not find a better price than that.
But it was ticking me off that it would say I had most of those and then some remaining. So I've solved it now. Oh, she's gone new things. Channeler's Whispers. This is also the weird dichotomy where I will be like, I won't like spend money on consumables and I won't use them, but I will waste money just to have placeholders to complete a list. Channeler's Whispers. Accessory. Maintaining an ethereal charge can prove as deadly to a bearer as unleashing the magic itself. These earrings are believed to assist in the channeling of ether by reducing the amount drawn from the body and augmenting it with ambient ether from the environment. Automatically charges magic spells and maintains the charge until cast. Accessory effect will not trigger unless ability charged magic is learned. Crimson Tassels. Crimson is the color of the blood that feeds my rage. Traditional battle invocation. Increases limit break generation amount by 3% when dealing damage. Cobalt Tassels. Cobalt is the color of the blade that feeds my pain. Traditional battle invocation. Increases limit break generation amount by 6% when taking damage. Interesting. So this is almost an accessibility thing, but not quite. It more saves you a break on that. Ooh. A beautifully illuminated scroll containing the writings of the tongueless prophet Lival, who is believed to have spread the gospel of Gilbert the Lender across Southern Storm. Increases gil earned by 35%. On Fortune and the Heavens. Accessory. A treatise in which the renowned astrologer Osmo claims to have successfully mapped the eastern autumn skies and proceeds to explain how the star's location is relevant in the fortification of the spirit. I kind of assumed it had to, because otherwise it'd be kind of a waste, because the random gil you get is very low usually, except for random chests occasionally. The Wages of Warcraft. It is said that in his 80 years as combat trainer, Rasset the Younger saw to the training of over 10,000 soldiers, focusing on efficiency over brute strength. Fortunately, before he passed, he dictated his learnings to one of his acolytes so that future generations might partake in his wisdom. I wanted to get this for more Rook's Gambit cooldown. So of course, here we have generic... Oh, man. I could get them all, really. I wonder if these orchestrated rolls happen because those guys died. Oh, Elixir. Instantly restores all HP. Oh. Affluent nobles obsessed with finding the secret to eternal life have created an unprecedented demand for this quality herbal concoction, heretofore rarely used outside of battle. As such, its asking price has bloated to so great an extent that few soldiers can actually afford it. Yeah, that sounds like rich people, alright. So I'm not gonna get these. Although this one would be helpful, because I never remember to charge stuff. I could get all of these at the cost of not being able to buy stuff. I would never get these I won't be, you only can equip 3 anyways.
It'd better all be here.
Maybe look at blacksmith first.
You'll
Yeah.
not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here.
I bought those regardless.
Finished, are you?
Does that one have blood on it?
Anyways, what's up, Goots?
Dave, you're back. You didn't happen to run out of potions while you're away, did you? We've a fine selection of tonics and tinctures. Or perhaps you'd be interested in some new gear.
It's okay, Goots. No one likes the word accoutrement anyways. It is true, the only way you would need money... Well, here's the thing, though. I might want to do at least the story stuff, because I think at least one time, Karen was waiting to get her new stuff after I had done story, so...
Once the hall's swept, it's over to the Tavern Crown for me.
Still smitten with the serving girl, are you? She's a fair one, all right.
I feel like it's gotta be way harder to have chocobos here in this new hideout. Athanasi.
If you told me you could fire a forge without a crystal or a bearer before I came here, I'd have taken you for a madman. But no, here it is. The secret's in the bellows, you know. They're Master Sid's own design. The other Master Sid.
Are you telling me that this world has people who have figured out non-magical ways of doing it too? And people are... Oh my god. Like... How has it taken this long to have a bearer and dominant rebellion? Off limits. That means you. What's up, Blackthorn? I'm sorry. It is the outlaw Sid. Anyways, let's ask Blackthorn about the hideaway.
Things here ain't too bad.
He supposes he has a decent hammer, decent anvil, and an apprentice that knows his hammer from his cock. Yeah, that sounds about right. And the furnace is all right and all, thanks to old Sid's bellows. Only the gods know how he'd keep the coals hot enough out here on the mare without them. Not with bloody crystals, that's for sure, because obviously it's a Deadlands. Hey, Donnie.
Nah.
He reckons we won't find a forge like this one anywhere else in the Twins, and he counts himself lucky to work it. Systemic oppression by its nature slows rebellion, and also makes it inevitable. True. Fair enough. And he thanks us for keeping him on. If we need anything, give him a shout. Then we'll ask him about the past 5 years.
You've forgotten already?
Fair response.
'Cause I haven't.
He says it was a right pain in the ass getting this place into shape, especially with the mess that we're in now. Well, the mess we were in then. Not that it was anything new for those of them to put the old hideaway together. Which makes sense. They were old hands at it. They had to put the old hideaway together, so...
Still.
That doesn't mean he intends on doing it again. So he's really asking us, like how Karen did, that we should really try not to have to need a third hideaway. I mean, I'd be scared, honestly, if something like that happened again, like... What would happen if we get another time skip? We Sid the Outlaw, 40-year-old. Ugh. Alright, let's see if he has anything new in the forge.
Fordian, do you?
Just finished watching your cousin showcase an Armor 3 Halo mod. He continuously made jokes about the Halo TV series. What was that about? That's good. Good to see you had some good Halo timeline. 11 bolt sword, which looks pretty cool actually. From heaven on high, far did his bolt fall, for to deliver justice. Iconomachy, Book of Levin, 420. Look, Sid died having his last cigarette. I think he would want a sword made from something made from his icon to include a quote from the 420 section of the Book of Levin. It's only right. Book of McLovin 420.
No scratches, right?
Okay, we'll equip it. I mean, I could upgrade the bastard sword for no reason. Oh, no, craft the bastard sword. I always forget it's craft and not reinforce. Right, I have a bastard sword anyways. Do I care enough? There's no purpose to it. There really isn't. But I have so many of them.
You can thank me later.
I mean, I have so much of it.
Yeah, that should do you.
Yes, it did. Now, I don't know if these ones... I don't have a ton of Valley Matter, but then I have so much of the other ones, like... Was this such a waste? Do I have 2 wolfskin sashes? It says I do. Huh.
You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. You can thank me later.
Look, I might have an issue. What does this take? 2. Oh, that takes nothing.
Yeah,
that takes nothing.
My best work, but it'll do.
I don't know why I have 2 of these, and it's a waste of a meteorite. I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, that should do you.
JK, you're a Sid Light. Damn. Ah. Oh, Dragon Talon. Forgot about that. I don't even know what I have dad clothing equipped right now, I think.
My best work, but it'll do. You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you.
I probably will regret not having those meteorites when we come to later, but look at that. It tells me I don't need anything. I don't know why... Oh, because I don't have the parts that would make it anymore, that's why. I could make a bunch of Bastard Sword +1s, but I'm not going to do that. There are limits.
And?
Old base.
Look, Sid. Squeaks wants to meet you. I can keep him, can't I? Can't I?
Amateur Twitcher? Yeah, you can have a pet rat. Didn't need an airship in this game. I only had a million other ships.
This plank will have to be replaced.
Alright.
Nearly half the crates were lost to bandits.
But half weren't, and their contents will see us through the season.
Wow, they really did name... Because... Or did everyone in the old base have a name and I just didn't notice?
Where did I put that sack of lime? Sack of lime.
That they bloomed at all is a blessing in itself.
Scandal monger? That's certainly a way to call someone a gossip. big is this hideaway? Oh, they weren't kidding. This is way bigger than the old one.
It's not the ether. It's the water.
She just had a revelation about how plants work. Charles Botanist.
This tun here pulls the black from the lake water and renders it clear. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
How's your base? It's so cool. Look, whatever recruits people to the cause. You have to be realistic about these things.
Much was lost when the first hideaway fell. Colleagues and friends. Years of hard work. But we did not let that loss defeat us. And our work will not be in vain. No. The spirits of our fallen comrades live on in every leaf and limb you see here.
Yeah. Which, like, the head botanist, probably not a loss. But his assistant had her head on her shoulders, so it's kind of a shame with her. The foundations of Alistaean botany. Orbital tendrils. After excising from the trunk, dry for 3 to 5 turns of the sun until brittle to the touch. Grind in a mortar and add to warm coral milk to remedy gout, melancholy, and moon sickness. Caution recommended when harvesting, as the host may grow disquieted. The 5-year time skip reinstated the Game of Thrones. Experimental record. Bohumil head botanist. Mixed equal parts first-rate vineyard humus from Galton's bales with deadland soil. Of the 6 cuttings planted therein, 2 survived to flower, only to wither and die within a sennight. Even amalgamated with the finest imperial loam, the blighted earth is still affecting a nutritional deficiency. It might be remedied with some further source of nourishment, saltpeter, or potash, or the dung of a racing chocobo. This shall be the subject of my next round of experiments. And then he died. But at least we will remember him as he lived. A crazy science man. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna guess if he is, he's not on here is the thing. And there's the Wall of Memories in Clive's chamber, but like there's this area over here maybe? Maybe he's on a part of the map I can access right now. Do I want to go up this way? Let's just tour the story. Dang, Flying Video's gonna will return. Smowtown. Okay, good. This goes to my chambers. Oh, I have a little balcony to myself. Nice. Which I looted myself, so. I looted myself, but that's not Souls-like. That was that way. Isn't there? No, the other one's outside. Got it, got it. Wall of Memories. That's... Created the day Clive pledged his allegiance to Cid, this crystal shard, transfixed with twin daggers, Ah, no. Gotcha, yeah. Transfixed between daggers is a powerful reminder of a promise made, a friendship forged, and a legacy inherited. I note that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22? If those all get filled in, that's a lot of memories we've not had yet. Unless I've missed some. Which is entirely possible. I, for the first time, defeated a boss-like enemy without getting hit, so... I'm not the best at this game. All of the memories include a copy of Timber Maniacs and Pet Pals. Oh. Alright. So that's the shelves. Well, if we would have Hippocrates in here, you would think he'd be in the shelves, which is closed right now.
Shelves are closed. Sign outside should have told you. Yeah, the sign outside should have told you.
But there's no sign.
I can't eat another bite.
I
All
don't
right.
know. Perhaps I should just...
Yes. Okay, I think I've explored those all thoroughly enough. We have the boarding deck, which I think I've done a bit of that. Again, FF8's the one you kind of know the most to refer to, so I think it's okay to keep drawing back to it. Hortense, Keeper of the Swords.
Clive. Is everything all right?
Did your parents, like, was Hortensia not close enough? Oh well. Who knows, maybe Hortensia is the fake version of the name and Hortense is actually what it used to be. I don't know.
All operations are suspended until further notice.
Yes, Captain. I'll let the others know.
Man, Doris and August just get to have names. They don't even get titles.
Have you finished sorting those reports yet?
Finished? I ain't started. Been busy enough with my own work.
You're pulling my leg, aren't you? Otto's gonna skin me alive.
Goat survived. Goat survived. When others... whatever. I guess it means I don't get introduced to a new side quest, man. Hey, Nectar survived, but that's okay. He's immovable. You wonders what this new board behind him is, and all good time. It's our furless friend, all in good time. Okay. Is there Biggs and Wedge in this world? I mean, we weren't entirely serious about it, but Tyler and Wade in the flashback kind of had that energy without being called Biggs and Wedge. And you don't get... Vivian also didn't get that, okay. A History of Valasthaean Jurisprudence, the Continental Accord. The signing of the Continental Accord marks the beginning of the modern era of Valasthaea. Where the realm had once been riven by hatred and mistrust, the Accord built bridges, affecting many of the areas of realm-wide cooperation that persist to this day. The shared currency, shared calendar, and common system of bearer ownership chief among its epoch-making achievements. Alas, in the years since the Accord's signing, many of these old rifts have reopened. It is for us to follow in the steps of our forebears, and wholeheartedly endeavor to usher in a new age of peace and unity. Large is an inclined plane. Oh, hey, Otto's right there. Surprisingly, he can't, like, just stop me. I need to talk to him. Which means I can continue to ignore him.
Sid. I changed the linens in your chambers while you were away.
Caesar, my man. Why would I mind you? Whatever. We'll loot our launderers. Rodrigue the Physiker.
Lady Tyre is performing a delicate operation and must not be disturbed. I'll let her know you called.
How dare he? The bunks are here.
Escape from the slave markets. How'd you manage that?
I had some help, but it was mostly luck. The others weren't so lucky.
Oh, okay. And there's something over here. Compendium of Rosarian Verse. The reels run red with brave men's blood, and to the talons flow in flood, then out to sea. But those same souls whose souls are touched by flames and phoenix claws are clutched, and ne'er shall die. So dry thine eyes, thy groom is gone, but in thy babe his light lives on, and so shall he. That black stain was sacred to Sid's memory. And sleepy guy, okay. Oh, there's a... Oh, I can't go down, never mind. It would be like, there's a floor too, but there is not. Alright, can go in the infirmary. Let's go this way. You don't exist.
Good day to you, Sid.
Ever the porter. That might be able to reckon working all the background descriptions and poems. I'm sure they have like one or two people who do checking, but then you just have whatever game writer is available at the time just knocks it out.
Can't catch a wink with all the clamour in the hall. The atrium's quiet this time of day.
Charlie says I can't go and play until I finish my sums.
Well then hurry up and finish them. We need 3 for curling geese.
Oh, just curl. I guess that makes sense. Usually when you have a bunch of extra vowels, you just ignore most of it. Shirley's the tutor.
Ah, Sid. We were just about to start our next lesson. You're welcome to join us. But be warned, I tolerate absolutely no tomfoolery.
Also, I'm sure someone else has probably spelled their name like that, but Shirley spelled like Shirley? The hell? Like, it seems so extra. Okay, that goes that way, but there are stairs up on this end? Well, no, those went down that way. Okay, I see how it is. Getting some real Rogier vibes from that teacher. Pretty cool you guys have read education at your secret base. I mean, look, you gotta indoctrinate the kids when they're young. As those 2 side quests from a couple streams indicate, the forces for the status quo are doing the same with the little rich brats. Okay, I've checked all that. I checked the wall of memories. Loreman does not exist right now. But Harpocrates might spawn in...
Plank will have to be replaced.
He might spawn in after we talk to Otto, who I guess I've made wait long enough. But I think it's fair. It's our first time in this base, which is going to probably exist for at least most of the mid-game, if not the rest of the game. I think it was worth giving a little explore. What's up, Otto?
Ah, there you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sent his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Still can't work that one out? There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
Okay. We spoke with Otto. Speak with Vivian and
I
Oh,
Maverick.
learn something new, you'll be the first to know. Now off you go.
Oh, did he? He did. I didn't even notice that. Now we're telling a story now. Okay.
I trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
One might say the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm?
Okay.
To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive?
It's a
But the
living.
real question is, how did we get here?
Are you gonna fill in the 5 years now? Yay.
Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured, recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation...
No, not Switzerland.
It is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
Oh, so that's how, okay. This was while it were. And you come back to the lands between map.
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even. Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was, adequate.
Okay, I think Hippocrates is alive.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our resident historian.
I think he said his name. People would just call him Tome, so. Also, I'm sorry, this lesson, are you telling me in the 5 years Clive has been Sid the Outlaw, establishing his secret bearer base here and doing all that stuff? This entire time, he has not learned the most basic changes to the entire political makeup of the world. Until 5 years later, he goes to this lady and she's like, are you finally gonna listen to me? Look, HR training sucks. Like, there had to be a less dumb way Like, I get being a himbo, but like... Ugh.
Here for another of my lectures.
Is that the same each time? Or is it just going to give me a big
What
map?
is it that you wish to learn?
State of the Realm. By speaking with Vivian in the Hideaway's map room, Clive can view the state of the realm and learn more about the current goings-on in Valsthea, revisit any of the Nine Tails' past lessons, or take a deeper look at the relationships of those individuals in Clive's orbit. Oh. The Grand Cast. Situation map. Past lessons.
Here you are.
Here you can view a detailed overview of current and past events relevant to Clive's story that updates as you progress through the main scenario. Use L1 R1 to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. Wow. Final Fantasy is so used to being anime, it is terrified of losing any of its audience by being a little bit epic fantasy in a true sense, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying it's bad that it has this, but this feels a little excessive. Oh, does this have the whole thing? Oh, this has the whole thing. Also shows which card game rules are in each town. Real quiet life stuff. It's excessive, but they are trying hard to attract a new crowd, I guess. Like, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of games that could be improved by this. Oh, and it even attaches the lore itself. My god. Holy moly.
I have the details here.
Here you can view a detailed visualization of character relationships in Final Fantasy XVI that updates as you progress through the main scenario. Use L1 and R1 to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. Holy. It even shows you when people change. Believe dead. We just assume that Dominant Phoenix is right there. Bauman's dominant. It's showing me when I get new things to read too. Torgal's still a fine hound. We're still friends with people. See Sid being there, deceased, and now he's just there with this like shadow over his face. It's even showing you the dominants with little icons on them. Elden Ring made lots of money, huh? I mean, they were definitely working on this before Elden Ring blew up the way it did, but... Bowshead. Hey, you fool. I am the wiki. Decapitates fandom editor. My goodness. This is impressive. Look at all this ambrosia. I'm hoping we find her at some point. She was a good chocobo. Like, I remember when she saved us by sacrificing an eye. It was a pretty dope scene. And I would look forward to her and Torgal doing a sick combo with Clive. Oh, and there's our mom, former Duchess. Holy Empress. To be fair, having the wiki in the game is better than trudging through all those Queen's Blade banner ads. Yeah, this is true.
The state of the realm is ever-changing, and how may I assist you today?
State of the Realm feature? Interesting. Let's ask about Vivian.
One would think
That her role was abundantly clear by now. He offers Sid and his the guiding light of knowledge, that of matters military and political, both past and present, that it might illuminate his way ahead. For it is only by understanding what has come before that one might steer one's way toward a brighter future. She says our role, meanwhile, is to ensure that she remains furnished with as much information on the state of the realm as our people can muster, in order that she might continue to appraise the dispositions of the great nations and those who rule them. That was just her chuckling. Okay, I thought maybe she'd actually do some dialogue in that line. And of course, we need to pay attention during her lectures. It would not do to appoint a storied Ninetales as Clive's tutor, only to disregard her expert advice. Okay, we'll ask her about coming to the hideaway, since that happened in the time that existed, but new Sid was too dumb to actually remember, which is why we had to get a freaking history lesson.
I admit.
When she took up her professor's bonnet, professors have bonnets? And began teaching at the University of Conver, she did not think for a moment that one day she would count Sid the Outlaw among her pupils. Nor did she imagine that her fellow educators would have designs on her life. And they both know how that ends. And that was a year ago. It's been a year already, huh? Such is the peril of an overly inquisitive mind, she supposes, you know. One is one to uncover that which others would go to great lengths to ensure remained hidden. Were it not for Clive and their mutual friend having come to the rescue, her curiosity would likely have proved fatal. But instead, she was not only saved, but granted a new lease of life, as personal tutor to a band of outlaws, no less.
A far more reputable fellowship
Than anything in the academic world, she assures us. Then we'll ask her about the Crystalline Dominion.
My beloved homeland.
They are the crossroads of Alsthea, where one only has to stroll the streets to hear news from every far-flung corner of the realm. Its mother crystal yields more shards than any other, and its lands even now remain untouched by the blight. It is a blessed country indeed. Well, if we're right about the crystals being vampiric in nature, it's kind of in the center of all of them, so I guess it does feed the best.
Or at least, it was.
Do you respect what I'm doing with this dialogue? Look, in other things, I don't mind doing voices for them, but this, like, voice thing it occasionally does just takes off something deep in me, and this is how I respond. I don't know why. I'm a vindictive bottom, I guess. At the least, it was until Sambrak elected to invade, and established a new holy capital upon Twinside's heretofore neutral shores. It pains her to see the land she loved so changed, and even more to know that she did not predict it. She knew that Emperor Sylvester had designs on the Dominion, but to abandon Oriflamme, the seat of the Holy Empire since its inception, seemed too audacious a move even for him. I didn't need to know that. Look, I just had to phrase it in a fun TMI way that's not really applicable. I'll leave.
I do wish our lawsman would consider acquiring some more contemporary volumes. I tire of the classics.
Why was that fully voiced? Consistency is all I want. Ah, I guess I should be glad there's some voice at all. Alright. That's the map room. The rear stacks. No, I wanted to look for the shelves, right? Where are the shelves? Right, there. It's the place that's telling me to go on the main quest thing. Neither of those words are in the Bible. You know, I'd question that, but to add to my heathenness, it's been ages since I looked at anything from the Bible, really. Kind of a dry read. Ooh, inspect. Mithril, a mineral most mighty. Introduction. Mithril is a material of both passing hardness and luster, and it is these two qualities for which it is valued by the weapon and armor smiths of the realm. However, there is a third quality of mithril that sets it apart from steel or shell, its durance. While even the finest steel may be melted by dragon's fire, become brittle in frigid climes, or turn to rust if not regularly and rightly oiled, mithril is, once made, eternally unchanging. In this volume, I will explain on how one might go about making, shaping, and employing mithrils in one's work. So Proceed's take on the cutscene dialogue versus in-game. Oh, he's got some fun ones. Examine spines. The Sins of Zemeckis, An Illustrated History of the Twins, Volume 4, Tales of the Founder, Mort d'Olivier.
Old Tome said the hideaway is built inside an airship. Said it was called the Invincible.
Oh, so we found another dead airship to build a hideaway out of. But a bigger one. Go us. I wanted to read that as someone, but I get Simeon's Treasury of Knowledge, Volume ye 11th, Ye Treasury of Beasts. Ye seas which gird about ye land of Valisaya on all sides doth churn most frothily with diverse and deadly creatures. Among these are beasts more prodigious in their size than entire islands, yet customarily as placid as ye very doldrums. Yet lo, when they do awaken, towering waves are driven forth, like in proportion to great mountains. Ye peoples of the outer seas in which these creatures dwell, doth live in great terror of ye writhing isles, as certain chroniclers make record of their being known. This is fake authentic. Yeah. Simeon? Yeah, it probably is just Simeon, huh? Just the E at the end. I could have just called him Simon. Simons. Harpocrates did make it. How surprising Harpocrates made it, but maybe he was just not in the base when it was attacked. No authentic would replace all instances of S with F. We don't need to go back that much to the Germanic roots. Harpocrates.
Norseman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ah, good old Harpocrates. Man, Tom, it's been 5 years. We must have learned so much during that time, right? Well, apparently, in the 5 years, because Clive, as Newsid, was not under player control, he just would not meet with the lore man. So truly, he is pure himbo, and any intelligence he even touches on is only because players like to know things. I wasn't level at all in that time either. Yeah, really. On Gods and Men, a heavy leather-bound tome containing the findings of one Anaximander of Canver, a renowned theologian who spent most of his life chronicling Valislaya's diverse religious history. Anaximander? Anaximander? Whatever.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same, but alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head, but without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones.
Ah, that's always the problem.
Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
I'm sorry, Hippocrates?
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day.
I mean, I guess...
Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Oh, return to my chambers. I guess Nectar just said people didn't know his language or could understand him. But it's possible they've all just not even heard him at all and ignored him. So maybe we do just see the Moogle. Hey Hippocrates, we brought you a great collection of books. Very recent in a pile of tax documents from years ago. Could be. Let's turn in some lore.
How good it is to see you, Clive.
Oh, right, we need to talk about this first. Ask about the hideaway.
Look around you.
Well, it is a far cry from the Imperial Library in Oriflamme. In 5 short years, they have amassed more volumes than most men or women might hope to see in their lifetime. No longer are the tales they contain hidden away from all but the privileged. They have liberated them, that they may fill the minds of all who hunger for knowledge.
Still.
There is much more out there, and as long as Hippocrates draws breath, he shall continue to gather what he can.
Why?
One day, a chronicle of Clive, Sid II's own adventures might even grace these shelves, or failing that, the floor. Oh man, I understand that. Sometimes you just you don't have room for a bookshelf, so you need to put books somewhere and you just stack them on the floor. Ask about the past 5 years.
It has been difficult, certainly.
When Titan visited his wrath upon them on that dreadful night, they lost much. He robbed them not only of their home and their loved ones, but that which Sid fought fiercest to preserve, their hope. He went all Junko on them, yelling Zetsubo in his giant earth form. But since he's also a simp for Benedicta, no one cared about his anime waifus and they just died instead. The hope, the fact that I interrupted it made this sentence more awkward. The hope that they might never find again. Had we, as new Sid, not taken the name, because Clive kind of sucks as a name still, and I stand by this, and new Sid is being way better, and become their light in the darkness. Floors are the first and last bookshelves. So I'm expecting the voice acting the end that it has. That's why I act like this a little bit, it just gets to me sometimes.
Had you not let us hear?
Although honestly, it's a fine way of doing it if you can't, if you're not gonna pay to get the entire voice line. Just giving you a little bit to go off of, but... That led them there to Benamir and the Invincible, where, among the ghosts of the fallen, their journey could continue. Here in the belly of a Leviathan untouched by the passing of 1,000 years, thus their hope burned brighter than ever. And there it may burn for 1,000 more. And then we'll ask about the twins, Ted and Crow.
I still remember.
The day he first met Ted and Crow, chasing their father about the hideaway one moment, clinging to their mother's cradle the next. The twins' love for their parents was something to behold, so fierce and pure. When they passed, he feared the void they left in the children's lives could never be filled. Neither spoke nor smiled for years, hiding themselves away in the shelves to bury their sorrows in the leaves of these tomes.
And thank goodness they did.
For he believes the stories provided a welcome distraction, as over time their pain faded, and now they laugh and frolic as they once did, if not with more vigor. They remind them that no matter how deep their wounds, they all have the capacity to heal, and that happiness lost may be found again. Alright, enough of that. Let's get to the lore.
I have a few new notes that might interest you.
Oh, fuck me. This is going to take a
subject
bit.
shall we consider today?
Oh man, the bestiary is getting pretty full. Yeah, but kids have more neuroplasticity. They do. I do want to say, too, I actually like the in-universe note that Sid came back and he was like, wise old man who knows a lot of things. I met a weird anime angel god man who also Sid killed, but then he didn't kill, and who would have taken care of me, except that my brother, maybe back from the dead, made him disappear. I don't know. I was losing consciousness then. Can you find any lore on this dude? It didn't really lead to anything right away, but hey, at least they thought to try. And that's what's important. Alright, how have I done this before? Alright, I know what to do. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Alright, let's start here in the beginning with the lay of the land. Valisthea, after the fall of Drake's Head, a realm comprising the twin continents of storm and ash, over which the Mother Crystals stand timeless vigil. Timeless, that is, until Sid and his disciples commence their campaign to bring each one, starting with Drake's Head, crashing down, spreading chaos and confusion throughout the great cities and nations of Valisthea. And then we have Sid's hideaway. Okay, good. A hidden refuge built on fallen ruins in the blighted lands of Central Storm. Here, Sid and his adopted family of freed bearers from across the Twins made their home. That is, until the fledgling utopia was brought crashing down after its location was discovered by Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan in the year 873. In but a single night, the hideaway was destroyed, fewer than half managing to escape the slaughter visited upon them by Kupka and his men. And then we have Benumere. Let me get on your dusty letters and a tankard of your finest whiskey. A lake in the blighted lands on the southern edge of the former Grand Duchy of Rosaria, named for the dragon that some tales say created the basin when it fell from the sky. Fallen airships dot its expansive waters like forgotten cenotaphs, leading some to liken it to a graveyard. Its remote location, far from any trade route and deep inside the Deadlands, made it an obvious choice for Clive when faced with rebuilding Sid's legacy. The fall of the hideaway, an assault by Hugo Kupka. His name gets me every time. Dominant of Titan and his private guard, on the first hideaway of Sid the Outlaw in the year 873, the safe haven, established amongst forgotten ruins long consumed by the Blight, was entirely destroyed, and many of Sid's collaborators and the bearers they had freed from servitude were slain. More lore to read, more lore to read. Kupo Hugpa. We have the Holy Empire of Sombrek. After the fall of Drake's Head, a nation occupying the northeastern reaches of the continent of Storm, after suffering the ignominy. Have I ever had to pronounce that word or even heard it said? Either way. Of losing Drake's Head to an audacious assault by the outlaw Sid in 873, the Empire set its sights on the mother crystal of its nearest neighbor, the Crystalline Dominion. Sombrek legions duly stormed the historical and neutral territory and installed the imperial capital at Twinside. This brazen act of conquest sent shockwaves across Valsdea and heightened the already considerable tension between the Empire and the Dalmekian Republic. Oh man, I mean, well, should have. And we had Oriflamme. Capital no longer. Former capital of the Holy Empire of Sombrek, after its mother crystal was destroyed in an attack by Sid the Outlaw in the year 873, the decision was made to move the throne and her armies south to the Crystalline Dominion, regardless of whether or not the Dominion citizens approved. Oriflamme has since fallen gradually into decline, having lost the mother's blessing and all the benefits it brought. Drake's Head. After the mother's fall, the mother crystal upon whose wings did Sombrek ascend to geopolitical supremacy, it towered over the holy capital of Oriflamme, its mighty silhouette a testament to the power and permanence of the empire. And then, in the year 873, it fell at the hand of Sid the Outlaw. Then we have the fall of Drake's Head. In the year 873, Sid the Outlaw, along with certain of his allies, infiltrated the Sambrequois capital of Oriflamme, bringing down its mother crystal in a daring and unprecedented attack. Investigations after the fact concluded that the infiltrators took advantage of the disturbance caused by an ether flood to gain entry to the Empire's holy sanctum. In the aftermath of the incident, Sid was declared a wanted man, and the faction he led a criminal enterprise to be hounded across Valsdea. Yay, anarchy! Northreach. Did I read this? I don't think so. Northreach, a town which doubles as a defensive gateway to Sombrek's holy capital of Oriflamme, was originally a purely military outpost, a towering bastion constructed to prevent land-based assaults on the capital from the southwest. To this day, a heavily guarded checkpoint ensures that none can pass through the wall without prior authorization, and as such, the need to linger here prior to entering has led to the rise of a thriving market and various other commercial enterprises on the wall's southern side. The garrison, however, along with the inns and brothels most of the soldiers frequent, as well as the residences of the nobles who make Northreach their home, remain on the northern side. Following the fall of Drake's Head, when Sombrek moved its capital to the Crystalline Dominion, Northreach went from being a vital gateway to the seat of the Empire to a forgotten country backwater in a matter of moons. And with the fall of Drake's Head, the ether was soon leached from the lands around it, leaving the fields fallow and the once thriving environs barren and lifeless. The Vale, Northreach's premier house of companionship, while it is frequented mainly by Sombrek's nobility and military, Lady Isabel welcomes all with a desire, and the coin, to partake of the pleasures her skilled courtesans and courtiers offer. Few establishments in the Empire are as well loved or as oft visited. More, a farming village located in the rye fields of the Royal Meadows, not far from the Sambrequois capital of Oriflamme. Her residents harbor a strong hatred for bearers, more even than elsewhere in the Empire, making it a very dangerous place to visit for those who bear the brand. So good riddance to all those assholes, as they are in the center of the new Deadlands. Okay, Glorious, a key strategic point in central Sombrek. Its location just south of Oriflamme makes it a vital first line of defense against any assault on the holy capital. The road from Northreach to Caer Norvin and beyond to the Crystal Belt bisects the area, ensuring a constant traffic of Sambrequois soldiers and traveling merchants. The Dragon's Eyrie, a gently sloping plain stretching east from the Sambrequois checkpoint of Northreach. As the name implies, it is heavily populated with all manner of wild worms, and as such, the lands remain relatively unspoiled by mankind. A Dalmekian Republic. No, I read that already, okay. In pursuit of Sid, a nation formed from the federation of 5 smaller states, It is located in the southern half of the continent of Storm and has its capital at Rondola, also home to the mother crystal known as Drake's Fang, inside which stands Castle Dazbog, home of Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan. Kupka, obsessed with finding Sidon and enacting his revenge for the murder of Benedict the Herman, co-opted the soldiers of the realm and had them commit a series of atrocities in an attempt to flush him out of hiding. The Men of the Rock. Hugo Kupka's personal guard. On Kupka's orders, they ruthlessly gutted and destroyed Sid's original hideaway. Vengeance for the brutal beheading of Benedict the Herman. But Kupka's thirst for revenge is not yet slaked, and it is with reckless abandon that he implores his minions to commit atrocities across the realm in a bid to drive Sid from hiding. Good lord. For 5 years, this man has, I thought Elden Ring had characters who would do some bad stuff because they were simping too hard. This dude, though, holy moly. The Kingdom of Olud. Following imperial occupation of Twinside, the sole surviving nation in Ash, Olud has its capital at Stoneair, home to the mother crystal of Drake's Spine. It is ruled over by Barnabas Tharmer, dominant of Odin and warden of darkness, who has long harbored ambitions of extending his reach into the neighboring continent of Storm. Somewhat surprisingly, the Somberquois Empire's incursion into the crystalline dominion prompted no immediate response from the king, who appears to be biding time and considering his next move. Wait, who's simped in Elden Ring besides the fan artist? Oh, that's just what the whole plot, people joke about that with. You can make the argument that, Ronnie's whole crew to her to a sense. Sylvanas obviously takes it way too far with making people into dolls. You can also make the joke that anyone going after Marika has that in play. There's probably others too. Look, some people commit the bit. Sometimes the bit is revengeance. Ah, don't flame it as revengeance. That makes me feel like I almost want to support it. How can you forget about the dolly botherer, Donnie? The Crystalline Dominion as the new imperial capital. A once independent state straddling the continents of Storm and Ash. Its capital, Twinside, is built on the tiny Isles of Ark from which its mother crystal, Drake's Tail, rises. After Drake's Hill was destroyed in 873, the whole empire of Sombrek declared Twinside its new capital in defiance of the long-standing non-aggression treaty. While controversial, the move, carried out by Prince Dion and his Knights Dragoon, proceeded mostly unopposed, largely due to the Dominion's lack of a dominant of its own with which to intimidate the interlopers. Non-aggression treaty. A pact in which was codified the agreement between nations to refrain from invading the Crystalline Dominion and laying claim to its mother crystal, Drake's Tail. It both cemented the Dominion's position as the center of world politics and placed checks on the ability of key players to exploit that position. It was also not worth the paper it was written on, apparently. Is that it? Alright. And with that, we looked at the lay of the land, so let's move over and look at our persons of interest. Oh my god. I changed my mind. Before we do that, no, we'll do it. Clive Rossfield. We did this one, right? Yeah. 5 years on, an Imperial bearer turned ally of Sid the Outlaw. In truth, however, he is something much more. Not only the firstborn of the Archduke of Rosaria, but also the dominant of a fleet, with the ability to absorb the powers of other icons. In the 5 years since the fall of Drake's Head and the death of his mentor, he and Jill have strived to continue Sid's legacy, the light of Rama forever in his heart. Was Sid really our mentor? I liked Sid a lot. He had a great voice. And we're following him what his plan was. But we knew him for a week. I mean, I guess he maybe helped us learn semi-priming, kind of, in that we learned it from a whatever. At the new hideaway. After Sid fell and his hideaway was reduced to rubble at the hands of Hugo Kupka, Clive took on both his predecessor's name and role, becoming the second Sid the Outlaw and leader of the re-established resistance. Together with the other survivors and their new recruits, he continues Sid's mission to emancipate bearers and rid the realm of mother crystals. Joshua Redfield. Margrace, a mysterious hooded man who many believe to be a dominant of fire. He's never seen outside the company of his faithful attendant. Okay, I actually did read this one, but it's fine because they booted over anyways. After being captured by Benedictus intelligencers and imprisoned in Caer Norvin, he slipped free from his bonds and escaped to Phoenix Gate. A dominant of the Phoenix and former heir to the ducal throne, Joshua was thought to have died at the hands of the second Icon of Fire during the disaster at Phoenix Gate. However, he is very much alive, traveling the realm even now, his true identity hidden by a heavy cowl and an assumed name, that of Lord Margrace. Joshua got so Bishonen. He really did. He grew up nice. Jill Warwick, a dominant of Shiva, Clive's childhood friend. After Clive and Sid spirited her away from the battlefield where she was being forced to fight for the Iron Blood, Jill was placed in the care of the hideaway's talented physiker, Taria, who nursed her back to health. 5 years have now passed since the fall of Drake's Head, and she and Clive continue Sid's mission to emancipate bearers and rid the realm of mother crystals. Dominant of Shiva and trusted confidant of Clive, leader of the new hideaway. Together, they continue Sid's mission to emancipate bearers and rid the realm of mother crystal. That's like almost, why is this its own page? Whatever. A Torgal, the good boy. Clive's faithful friend. He is fiercely protective of him and his allies, loath as he is to lose his best friend again, and never strays far from Clive's side, putting the hunting skills Sid taught him to use in fending off foes and picking up trails. Sidolphus Telemon, Sid the Outlaw, leader of the Hideaway and dominant of Rama, Warden of Thunder. His plan to create a world where bearers and dominants could die on their own terms meant destroying the mother crystals, an act of blasphemy that would see him forever denounced as an outlaw. It was during their mission to fell Drake's Head in 873 that Sidolphus Telemon lost his love to a beast from the beyond, passing the title Sid the Outlaw on to his protege Clive. As also, it's also changed the association flag on the right to the new hideaway symbol. Ah, that's true. Plus, I'm sure it helps with the really fancy character chart and timeline we have, too, so. Hugo Kupka. No, that's the one we read. In pursuit of Sid, permanent economic advisor to the Dalmekian Parliament and dominant of Titan, he has little love for his country, taking advantage of his position to benefit himself and himself alone. After learning that Sid the Outlaw, the man who slew the love of his life, Benedicta Herman, still lives, he tasks his personal guard with capturing and torturing bearers in order to draw out his nemesis and take his revenge. Yes and no. That is merely the position and title he gave himself. Because yeah, so when he woke as the dominant of the Icon Titan here, it made him really important in Dalmekian politics. So basically he's like, hey, the Avenging Bean counter. I have the ability to become a giant rock god? Give me money and power, or you won't have me. And they did it. I will squish you if you don't let me have all the things. Otto, a chief steward of Clive's Hideaway. Otto continues to serve the same role as he did under Sid, being the primary person in charge of all monies and information coming into and going out of the Hideaway. He is the stock market. I'm sure Gavin and Taria will update when we see them, so I should have probably done this afterwards, but whatever. It just means when I do this lore thing next time, after doing a bunch of things, I'll be like, why did Gavin and Taria have an update? Why didn't I do that then? Karen at the new Hideaway, one of Sid's most trusted allies. After Sid's hideaway was laid waste to by Hugo Kupka and his minions, she and her hard-working yet long-suffering apprentice Goots followed Clive to the new hideaway in Benmare, where they serve him in the same capacity they served his predecessor, sourcing whatever supplies her fellow residents are in need of. It would be funny if Hugo is still stuck in Titan form. Hugo Kupo. Look, just because I stumble at his name, we need not make him into a Moogle man. Although he'd probably be more reasonable and less of a man-child in that state. Although he doesn't strike me as being secure enough in his masculinity that he would get away with wearing, like, Moogle PJs or anything like that. Like, he definitely has to, like, look like he's a manly man all the time. He feels that way to me anyways. Goots. As Prentice Smith, apprenticed to Chiron on alley of the Hideaway. After Sid's hideaway was reduced to rubble at the hands of Hugo Kupka, he followed his nan and joining Clive at their new home on the lake. He has a keen interest in smithing, and spends what little spare time he is granted heating and hammering metal, just as Blackthorn showed him. Odin's dominant on the other end. Oh yeah, Barnabas. I mean, Barnabas could be related to, like, look at this. Look at him. I wish I'd have waited to toggle between him and Clive directly. Yes, we know every dominant and every icon except whichever the 8th one that is water is. A Blackthorn at the new hideaway. A resident blacksmith of Clive's Hideaway, where he keeps the new Sid the Outlaw and his allies well outfitted with arms and armor. Though he is usually a sullen and secretive sort, his knowledge he is happy to share with Goots, who has long been eager to learn the art of smithing. It's his real dad. I mean, I think Barnabas also gets around. I don't think he's old enough, but... Hippocrates too Hyperboreus. At the new hideaway. The hideaway's resident historian. After Sid's death and the destruction of his home, he joined Clive at the new hideaway, establishing a grand library within the walls of the fallen ruin, from whence he continues to share his knowledge with any who will listen. He has taken the orphan twins, Tet and Crow, as his apprentices, though they have yet to prove for the most attentive audience. Or maybe it starts out as a bias towards certain jawlines for certain people. I mean, this is true. I think he's also meant to be like... I mean, I guess we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if story-wise, though, he's meant to represent more of a dark Clive than Hugo, who is more like his own character. And yeah, there could be a new Garuda and Rama by now. That's probably why I kept joking about there being a new Phoenix when we saw there was still not Joshua. Realistic anime projects all have a pointy jaw. But yeah, since Garuda and Rama we know have been dead for 5 years now. That said, it doesn't look like... Well, they don't put all the dominants strictly together because they have this dude here, Royal Knight Lord Commander. So they could add him later down the line. Also, who the hell... We must get someone else important to us. Like, who would go between Ambrosia and Sid? Vivian Ninetails, a scholar and strategist who makes her home in the hideaway. hideaway and allows every shred of information that comes in from the wider world in order to divine the dispositions of the realm's armies and those who lead them. She offers her insight to Clive that he might better understand the lay of the land. The moniker Ninetales, of which she herself is fond, was gifted her by her fellow scholars in recognition of her ability to speak at length on almost any subject. Maybe another animal, an ocean pet, obviously. Must have topped all pets. Rules of threes complete the set. It could be. I guess the other one is we could get our own special, oh, what are they called? What are they called? It feels unnecessary, but also not the bestiary. We could get a special Stolas, I guess, too. But then we have 2 birds and a dog, and that'd be kind of dumb. Achy. Okay, back to Lay of the Land. No, not Lay of the Land. Persons of interest. Oh my goodness. Goat. Maybe a tortoise. That'd be pretty good. Oh, wow. I guess I heard this earlier and did that. Snowflake the 23rd. Oh, that takes me back. Go. Otto's loyal lackey, tasked not only with keeping the ledgers, but with reading and sorting the myriad reports that entered the hideaway and arranging assistance for those in need. Born a bearer, Goat was kept as a slave to an Oriflamme tavern, whose keeper would beat him bloody. After being thrown out onto the city streets as punishment for a minor mistake, it was his fortune to be found by Otto, who took him back to the hideaway. Maeve, landlady of the Tub and Crown, the hideaway's much-loved alehouse. Though she was born in Rosaria, her enslavement as a bearer saw her transported to Sombrec to work its wheat fields. However, when the farmer was unhappy with the harvest and thought to make an example of her for her fellow slaves, the curse-breakers stepped in and instead teach him the error of his ways. Obolus, an old friend of Otto's from his merchant seaman days, now serving as ferryman between the shores of Benamere and Clive's hideaway. Knowing him to be a trustworthy and tight-lipped fellow, Otto invited him to join their cause after Sid's death, that he and his trusty skiff might help them build and operate their new hideaway in the lake. Kenneth, the taste of home, chief cook at Sid's hideaway, who lost his life on the night of Hugo Kupka's attack. He was well loved both for his ever-genial nature and the toothsome fare he concocted from the limited ingredients available in their Deadland home. Indeed, many of Kenneth's dishes remain on the menu in Clive's new hideaway. Rip Kenneth, my man. Ted, one of a pair of young twins who assist Harpocrates in the hideaway library, or at least are tasked to. In practice, he spends most of his time reading books and teasing Tomes and his sister Crow. Though their parents were both bearers, Ted was spared that burden. Alas, he was not spared the tragedy of losing both his mother and father when Sid's hideaway was laid low. Guess the whole bearers turning the rock is a microcosm example of what's happening to the world. That could be in it a sense, yeah. There might be something else going on there too. It's interesting that it become like a rock-like crystal kind of thing, but... And Crow, one of a pair of young twins who assist Harpocrates in the hideaway library, or at least are tasked to. In practice, she spends most of her time reading books and teasing Tomes with her brother, Ted. Born a bearer like her parents, but spared the prejudice and persecution that they were forced to suffer. Alas, she was not spared the tragedy of losing both her mother and father when Sid's hideaway was laid low. Gwen, Bertha, Bernard, Isabel. I feel like I probably read this, but I'll do both anyways. And the dame, a woman of mystery, an ally of Sid's cause who makes her home in Northreach. It was she who informed the hideaway of the redeployment of the Sombrequois legions following their chastening by Waloed at Belnis Tor. And it is she who will secure Clive's passage, through the Northreach checkpoint. A first encounter, proprietress of the Vale, Northreach's foremost house of ill repute, and one of Sid's trusted collaborators, Isabella is much admired by the populace for her elegance and refinement, qualities that have earned her the title, the Dame. You must stop sapping Gaia of her magics. Air juggles a soldier with an infinite chain combo of spells. Oh, if only I could be that good. Victor, a friend of Sid's and later Clive's, who keeps an ever-attentive vigil on the comings and goings in Dalmechia from his hometown of Kosnis. The mysterious Watcher, scion of a lesser noble family of Dalmechia, tasked by Hugo Kupka to trace the whereabouts of Sid the Outlaw, the man he believes slew Benedicta Herman. His investigations lead him to Eastpool, where he overhears Clive and Gav's conversation and follows them back to Sid's hideaway, where Gav kills him like the bitch he is. Medicine Girl. Really? From the cutscene? I feel like this is bad news for her that she got a lore page. Medicine Girl, an orphan girl who pays for her bread by making and selling medicines. And Ultima, an otherworldly being that Clive encountered in the inner sanctum of Drake's Head. He addressed Clive as Mythos before attempting to merge their consciousnesses. However, Clive was able to summon the will to resist the creature before Joshua returned from the dead to imprison it in a cage of flame that he sealed away in his own heart. She very clearly saw Jill's face. It is true. And she's not a bearer, but... Also, I thought Joshua just, like, absorbed him into his soul. I didn't know he literally put him in his heart. Like, I'm sure there's some level of magical going on there, so it's not quite literally that. Because obviously Joshua's not big enough for his entire heart to contain Ultima size, but it's pretty cool. Oh, let me get a drink. Also, Hippocrates in the corner saying he feels a revelation might be close at hand. My dude, there's a while before that level 3 hits the 4. Like, that's maybe 70%. Hydration very important, especially when reading out loud a lot. Gives me an opportunity to use this voice. That's not great, but it's one of the ones I can do reliably okay for me. Heart of the Mother Crystal. The brightly shining convolution of shards that sits at the center of each Mother Crystal. When a heart shatters, so too does the mountain around it. Since time immemorial, sanctuaries have been built around the hearts for their worship, for the worship and protection of these irreplaceable treasures. I was gonna say, how do they know that it would break like that? But we did hear about there being one extra Mother Crystal that already got rid of, so... Oh, I think they implied it just, like, ran out and died, instead of, like, being destroyed, but who knows? The Inner Sanctum. Sacred chambers in which the hearts of the Mother Crystals are enshrined. Believed to have been created before the time of the fallen, they retain a portentous air even now, long after mankind has forgotten their significance. Crystal, the black market, one of the most valuable materials known to mankind, thanks to its ability to channel ambient ether from the air, allowing those without an innate power to do so to cast magics. And as most vast lands cannot live without magic, its supply and distribution is heavily regulated by governments across the Twins. Though the penalties for illicit trade in crystal are severe, with demand far outstripping supply, many still dabble in the black market. Ethereal tolerance. The ability to resist the effects of ethereal exposure. This is higher in bearers and dominance, allowing them to survive concentrations of ether that would turn any human who lacks their gift. Some animals, including chocobos, also have a natural resistance to the effects of ether. But one of the many reasons why the birds are so beloved across the twins. This is not a metaphor for anything. So chocobos have some natural ethereal tolerance. That's cool. Ether floods. Pools of concentrated ether that form on the land surface, thought to be caused by an imbalance in its diffusion beneath. Though ether is usually invisible, at flood level concentrations it takes on a blue glow. Those with a natural ethereal tolerance can survive exposure to a flood, at least for a short time. But most living things will eventually succumb to its effects, losing their minds and turning akashic. Like unobtainium. Magic barriers. Some dominants have the ability to call upon a part of their icon's power to summon a ward, a nigh-impervious barrier that no magic nor matter can cross. However, its maintenance requires a continuous channeling of ether through the summoner's flesh, taking a heavy toll upon them. The larger the barrier, the greater the burden. Priming. The icon's toll. The act of a dominant transforming their living flesh into that of their icon. Priming does not require a continual draw on the ether. It is rather maintained by the constant channeling of the vast quantities of ether imbued within the dominant's own body. This allows dominants to remain primed even when they enter the etherless Deadlands, but also results in the crystal's curse taking a heavy toll on them with every act of priming. Oh, I don't think we knew that quite yet, but now we know that you can still prime even if you're in a place without ether. Also explains why it was kinda killing Sid. Slave masters. Those who own and manage bearer slaves. A bearer must always obey the orders of his or her master, and are largely forbidden from acting independently, even from speaking without express permission, when it is necessary to relinquish supervision of a bearer, such as when dispatching one on an errand. Masters will often affix the emblem of their house or business to the slave's clothing, that they are not mistaken for an escapee. Hence time smashing your old base. Yeah, you know, I wasn't even thinking about that. That's why that's there too. They explain why. I wonder, does semi-priming different though? No, you can still semi-prime too. Okay. I mean, I guess semi-priming also indicated that was the case too. Oh wait, Airship had one too. Clive's Hideaway. Legend has it that the people of the Fallen once sailed through the skies in the bellies of these ships, though all now lie shattered and silent on the surface below. The men and women of the present day are wont to repurpose these ruins for their own uses. Both the village of Lostwing, Clive's Hideaway, and Benamere being built around the wreckage of a fallen airship. Ancient mural. A wall painting found in the depths of the Apodittery under Phoenix Gate. Who created it and for what purpose is unknown, but the celestial being in the center suggests some connection to a long-lost religion. Is it really going to sandbag the fact that that is clearly a Freet there in the middle, just with some wings around him? Hugo was a big guy who could pick up Benedicta, and he was easy to seduce, so she did it. I don't think they had much else going on there. I guess because earth and air are both dry. Beasts. Animals whose evolution has been warped by exposure to ether. Some gain the ability to cast magics. Unlike bearers, however, they seem to have developed little ethereal tolerance, so so it is not uncommon to encounter Akashic beasts in the vicinity of ether floods. Wild beasts are sometimes tamed by humans for use in warfare. The soldiers of Sombrek have a particular fondness for those descendants of ancient dragons. Oh yes, Aggies. I mean, that's a good point. And maybe Kay tipping her hand a little bit there. But we can make, like, little Ifrit babies out of our magic. But I don't know if Clive is going to actually learn how to do that or not. That makes sense, though. Sid the Outlaw, leader of the faction believed responsible for the shattering of Drake's Head in 873. With this single act of infamy, Sid's name quickly spread to the four corners of Valsnea and beyond. Beyond what? Well, actually, I guess Ultima implies that there's something else going on, so that could be another world / plane or outer space. Sounds like some Zoomer word for Eggo waffles. Mythos and Vessel. Mythos, the name by which Ultima addresses Clive. It appears to be his title for the vessel for limitless power that he means to make of the young Lord Marquess. But to what end he requires such a thing, only Ultima knows. Vessel, a name that the being known as Ultima gives to Clive. It appears to be synonymous with mythos. That could have been just, whatever, the bestiary. Oh, I guess I hadn't seen dragonets before. Dragonids, lesser dragons known for their nimbleness in flood. Those specimens of the Sombre-Qua subspecies known more commonly as the worms, or worm, are somewhat easily tamed, and as such, widely employed in battle by the Imperial legions. Raptors, though still widely believed by the common folk of Sombrek to be the descendants of dragons, on account of their leathery wings, meagerness of plumage, and distinct ability to spit fire, learned scholars have long since concluded that these deceptive reptilian creatures are none other than birds of prey which, over countless centuries of hunting creatures on the ground, have simply lost their capacity for flight. That's cute. In this mostly still medieval world, even they're like, no. The dinosaurs are not dragons, they're birds. So giant roadrunners. Kinda, yeah. Vultures. Opportunistic avians that, like many other predatory birds, prefer to stealthily swoop down on foes from above and skewer them with their razor-sharp beaks. Though they are thought to primarily feed on carrion, traveling in large flocks in search of the dead and dying, it is not uncommon for vultures to attack living prey when times are lean. If you happen to hear their eerily human-like calls, squawks, and warbles, it is best to find cover, and quickly. That is the prettiest vulture I have ever seen. It is true, that is a very pretty bird. Panthers. Archetypal predators known best for their brilliant spotted coats and a proclivity to live lives of solitude. As is the case with most felines, the animals are severely strong-willed, and efforts by the Republican Army to harness their inborn speed and ferocity for use on the battlefield has been met with varying degrees of success. See, like, look, they left the spot right after the fire dominance, not dominance, the fire icons, whatever this water one is. And we met all these other ones, and then 5 years happened, and we still don't know who, whatever this is. Rama, Hidden Truths, the Warden of Thunder, whose power most lately awakened within Sidolphus Telemon. Dominance of the icon most often emerge among descendants of the Motes of Thunder, a tribe who once dwelled in the lands of Central Ash, lands that the kingdom of Ulud now lays claim to. Mayhap in part due to the tribe's comparatively advanced learning, Rama is associated with wisdom and judgment to this day. I'm so confused on Typhon. was Typhon actually Ultima? Well, maybe let's see what it says. Typhon, seemingly drawn to the destruction of the heart of Drake's Head, Ultima emerged from eternal reality, wearing the skin of Typhon, a withered and wizened colossus, and to clive into a space between worlds wherein the ethereal entity might test his worth as a vessel. So yeah, so this might be like, maybe Ultima's old? Sorry, that makes me like Ultima's clearly old. Maybe Ultima's old vessel was Typhon, which is why he wants a new one. He needs to change out because he wore him out. I don't know. We'll probably learn more about that with the story. Is that everything? Okay, that's everything. Oh.
Did you learn everything you needed?
So yeah, so Typhon was actually, like, Ultima was in Typhon, the same way that, like, the other ones are their own icons when they're primed.
Old Tome said the hideaway is built inside an
Oh, just you two. I don't care. You already said that.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a stolus. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
I don't blame Ultima for foreign Clive for his vessel. He's very easy on the eyes. Oh, so now we know why Sid immediately stabbed Ultima.
Once the hall's swept, it's over to the tavern.
Hello, Jill. I guess I don't lock my door, which is why I gotta change out my linens, but this is presumptive of you.
Otto was here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk.
Reading table. Reports, letters, and other important missives addressed to Clive are delivered to the reading table in his chambers. New messages are always arriving, so make it a point to check the reading desk upon returning to the hideaway. The Republic's play. In the letter, Gav states that the Republican army marches on the Empire at Twinside, and the men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, he reckons. I'll see you're done to wear upon my return. So you're done to wear upon my return. Okay.
What does Gav have to say?
Oh, he said there's a
The
cutscene.
Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance
To kill
the one
Hugo
we've been waiting
Kupka.
for.
Or to go for the Mother Crystal, I
Look
guess.
how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear.
Rita's being too.
Crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now? Now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
That was because the mouth movements are capped. I mean, every now and then you gotta put money into the cutscenes, right?
He was there. It wasn't an illusion.
Oh, that's pretty.
I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does.
I guess it makes sense. Even as New Cid, we would be wary of going after Hugo if we couldn't become a free...
To a world without mother crystals. To Cid.
Like, it's hard to really style on Titan in a meaningful way when you're the size of his pinky toe. So I feel like there had to be a way, though. Like, learning a little stealth, maybe? Meanwhile, ooh. The Northern Territories.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But
Can avoid Asher's wrath.
this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
I don't know, brother. You were like the world away and speaking to the wind. I think Clive is not as effective outside of combat and cutscenes as he is. Like, it's weird because we also get those cool kaiju fights.
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
They were just
Not at
drinking.
all. We were just discussing strategy.
Why are you making it weird, man?
Freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well.
It just went from like 8 to 26.
What would make Martha leave the rest?
Oh, The Gathering Storm. That's a very good book. The script subject does not match. The subtext does not match the actual scene. It is very weird. Maybe they just know that, like, Clive and Jill aren't actually going to do anything, so that's the closest they get. So it's like the same as walking in on two people doing it. So they respect them that way.
Something has happened to Martha. We need to speak with Otto.
Otto's still in the same place. Why is this orchestrion thing so say it has something for me? Martha! I went the wrong way, because I'm a dumbass.
I don't know. Perhaps I should just have...
Have we any more knuckle pies?
Oh, sadly not. Molly used the last of the chocobo in the stew.
Sorrow's faded form. Well, there we go. I guess that was what was kind of going on during that. Maybe when Jill was having her big speech moment. can't go down that quickly, but I can go over here anyways.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
That's not good.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to
God damn it, Mom.
It sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
I can see that, Donnie. It was easier to point to than other things. Like, it was very concise thing to pile on, which is why it was part of it.
Martha is a survivor. We'll find her.
Thank you, Jill. What do you have new?
Ah, my favorite pupil. Allow me to educate you. Here you are.
Okay, so that will also, you'll also update when we get new quests.
Thus
Gotcha.
ends today's lesson.
Alright. Doesn't look like we unlocked anything since then. Okay. Okay, this isn't active quite yet. I wonder what this is gonna be. Felt purposely obtuse. Now... Oh, is Nectar gonna be our new one for side quests? What happened with, I guess he's not on here anymore. Because there's the reading table, but also there was, Goat. Wherever the hell he's gone. Gonna be the banner for your gotcha icons that you never use. Nectar is Hans, ah.
Does that one have blood on it?
Be kind of nice, actually. I wouldn't mind that. What the hell are you freaking? Well, I don't think I actually relate, because... Yeah, it doesn't really look like many side quests activated right now anyways. I'm not gonna search for... I doubt there's gonna be anything else here right now. Said to check this, but... Yeah, I'm board beside him. Goat's still the side quest guy. Okay. Alright. Well... The side quest is actually here in the hideaway, so... Oh, a ready stone. A ready stone. A reed stone. Whichever you were. Oop. Did I? Oh no, you're all the way over here. Okay.
Welcome back, Sid.
Oh. What's up, Opulus?
Damn blighted bilge. Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rot for a moon or so. Assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Unless, of course, someone finds you some pitch.
Of course, Obolus.
It must be some, whatever.
Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Okay.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Prioritize west. Oh. Just like throwing thistles at Curltail Falls. Okay. Before we go, actually, was I about to? Yes, I remember what I was about to do. Which means I need to use the elevator again, which is unfortunate, but. Well, this is a resistance base, so it makes sense we would hopefully not have too many children here, but yeah. I also worry just for our turrets in general, if it's so well known everyone's thing is like, this kid is eating our turrets. Also, just I hope people are watching out for his nutrition, because it can have some downsides to it.
I don't know, perhaps I should just have...
Is it business or pleasure? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it.
Alright. Let's just get rid of all my gil.
You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that.
I now have 814 gil.
Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Lemon tarts are yummy. I mean, they are yummy, but... Alright. Cock and ball. Hideaway Fireman Obolus estimates his skiff will not last another fortnight before the blighted water of Benamere eats straight through its hull and condemns it to the lake bed. Fortunately, he knows exactly what the boat needs to avoid this grim fate, and exactly where Clive can find it. And then the Gathering Swarm, we need to find the Curse Breakers. Yeah, because these are so picky, I'm just glad she'll eat friggin' Lucky Charms. Yeah, that can be a problem with kids sometimes. Okay, what do I have? Defense, attack, and this increases Rook's Gambit damage. Alright. So, Gil earned, XP earned, ability points earned. And then that. Oh, that's not above a ball too. Man, living in an airship, even a broken one, is such a cool idea. That's pretty good, yeah. So, I'm thinking the one I'm most... Because you could just put all three of these on and just get more passives. I'm thinking... Because level-wise, I've seen to be good, actually. Uses Hindenburg Terrace as a tent. So cool. I'm thinking, though, I could leave off the XP one. But I definitely want the Gil and the ability points ones, though. And then this one, instead of Rook's Gambit damage, I will reduce its cooldown time. And then we have these abilities, which we won't spend any. Okay. And we are poor. We have no money. Well, it's not that we have no money, because I'm sure that 814 gil is still quite a bit, but also I should save having done everything I've done. Home sweet home.
Never been to Curl-Tail Falls myself. Never seen a curl for that matter. Not that I want to. I heard they'll tear a man from cock to crown soon as look at him.
Yeah, probably.
Good thing all we need is some wax from a thorny pitcher. How hard can that be, hmm?
You know, I don't know why I was acting like your boat was actually going to be the thing that takes me when I clearly could just do this instead. Alright. Ah, we get to go back to the 3 reads. Oh, I can actually go back to these ones. Interesting. Alright, well, let's do side quest. Oh, the shop has new things here. Alright, well. Going to Curl-Tail Falls. Remember to turn on Torval too.
Easier than felling a forest, I said. Trees don't have teeth.
Oh, that's right, that's that one.
It's over.
This one does that. Belt ring time. Time to beat up the local wildlife. New ships Earth might run out of helium in the next 30 years. That sounds about right. Pitcher wax. Key item. A sticky substance found in the pitcher of a carnivorous plant which thrives in the Rosarian lowlands.
I can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Alright, that was pretty straightforward. That's kind of a reason why it's a science fiction mainstay to always mention the having to search for sources of helium. That being a big concern. Oh, the articles were misleading as usual. Damn Donnie. Should have waited for you to vet it first. Reserves we're running out of. Oh. Why did I go this way when I needed to go to... Oh, whatever.
Finish with that long bastard.
Here you go, Obelisk.
Well, Could you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
Take the pitcher wax.
Ugh! Reeks like a chocobo's arse. I don't suppose the Argo will mind as long as he stays above the waves.
Argo? So your boat has a name? I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as my old man. He was a ferryman himself back before the Blight came. The boat's all I have left of him. And thanks to you, he'll sail another day.
Did you name him after your father? Or did your father name his boat after himself? Oh, I guess technically, when I turn in quests, I should just throw the XP one on, shouldn't I? Ah, whatever, it's not a big deal. Badge of Might +1. Awarded to soldiers for unparalleled displays of courage on the field of battle. The feeling of accomplishment it enkindles in the recipient's heart. Start to enhance future before. I think that's the same, it's just the +1.
Yeah, Sid. How is it I never see you on the ferry? Ah, forget I asked.
Or his grandfather named his son after his boat. Ooh. You know what? I could see it. That would be pretty rough. Okay, old map. Local map. Yep, we'll go right here. I'm happy the bellman asked you that.
Come on. We need to find the others.
Look, it is good that what Sid does is a mystery.
Fucking Imperials. If they hurt Martha, they'll have the whole rest to answer to.
Looks like an, oh yeah, shop is this way still. What do you have that's new?
What are you after?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Stone skin cuffs accessory. A shield on my left arm, a sworn brother at my right, the courage of my mother to see me through the fight. A soldier's prayer. Founder's footsteps. And then all these.
That all, is it?
Look, don't disrespect me just because I spent all my money.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Founder. I'd rather not bump into them again.
You can tell there's been a time skip because the sunny town is now dark and cloudy.
Let's get you to a physical, shall we?
I'm sorry. I think I twisted something.
Aw.
Sid? What said you'd be coming? I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey, sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling.
Oh no.
I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Dark clouds gather. Prioritize quest. God damn it, Mom.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Sid, Clive, my man. Chair on the anime Safatan. Are you thinking that your mom would hesitate to be a complete and utter bitch because you should know better? I'm going the right way. Also, they made it so I can't go this way. Interesting.
If those Orsons touch an hair on Martha's head, I'll kill them all myself.
Sorry, it had me right there. And the pet Torgal thing was right there. Oh, wait, no, this is gonna be great for this. Alright. Alright, so it doesn't look like these enemies actually increase in level at all, really. Which is fine, because I guess they can let it so you can grind on the side, so... Yeah, I don't need to fight the Megalocrab. Just to give you Red Dead powers. Guys, I don't really want to fight you. I don't even really want to fight the Adamantors. I just want to see if there's something special here. No, it goes towards enemies too. Can't do that. Maybe this was always inaccessible. Way too long for that. Ah, didn't do it fast enough.
Too slow.
Right, that's how you do that. We need to see why it's long. Alright. Alright, looks like there's a reason why it's blocked, actually. I was wondering. What's up? Terrorized trader.
I was on my way to the Abbey minding my own business when a gang of screaming loons came charging out the garrison and chucked my stuff all over the place. Until I get it all picked up, no one's crossing the bridge. If you're going the same way I was, you'd be better off going back by Martha's than round the other side.
This is so weird that they did this. My assumption is because there's something they want me to encounter here, but... I meant we're still a chunky boy. Yeah. I'm sure if I was a little bit better, I could have gone through that faster, but eh. Did I miss something back there? What gets that reaction? Oh, I feel like I missed something now. Nothing made me elicit that reaction from me. Oh, no, man, anime airless moves will get you over a couple fallen boxes. Yeah. It's even goofier, too, because, like, the bridge scenario at least had that moment, but... Look, Jill just doesn't like to jump. Skeptical of that roadblock. Damn, okay. I was wondering if maybe the Megala crabs weren't actually aggro as long as I wasn't paying attention to them. Which is kind of goofy, but some video games do stuff like that.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
It's a new name. Why are... What's this? Tell me what the... Okay, well, the Curse Breakers. A unit drawn from those of fighting age and martial training among the residents of the Hideaway who conduct operations to liberate bearers from slavery, beginning as a loose collection of like-minded individuals in Sid's Hideaway who chose to rid themselves of their bearer brands they might serve the cause out in the field. The Order has greatly expanded both its ranks and its operations since the move to Benamir, all under Otto's watchful eye. Then Cole, second in command of the Curse Breakers, who assists with the coordination of their troops' bearer liberating activities under the supervision of his captain Doris, formerly a slave soldier for the Fist of the Republic before being freed and taken in by those he now calls his brothers and sisters in arms.
Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Oh, that was nice.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other Curse Breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
It's Sid now, but yes. I mean, people use Clive all the time.
Shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
It seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
Man, it is real, Big Mom making an elite group of people defend her, and she just names them the Black. Like, she must know she's a villain. Like, yes, everyone thinks they're their own hero, but there's no way you name the group something like the Black Shields, and you're not like, oh, yeah, I'm a dick. Not that to specify. That's fine in other ways. It's just when you're renaming a new form of the organization that, in opposition to it, it implies that, is what I should say. Because obviously nothing else is wrong, like, if they're wearing something like that.
Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
God damn. I mean, at least the ones who got up kind of helped save someone. Man.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
Don't worry. None of you are gonna survive.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long.
Ah, I didn't do that properly at all.
Nice try. Nice one, her toggle. To me, boy. Thanks, boy. Over here.
You. Most of this game to give you a punching bag. Yeah, really. Valley Matter and we're right.
Is that all of them?
I think so.
Oh, wow. Oh, a breath of wind. Oh, it uses gouge cooldown. That's cool. And a lot of bloody hides. I think we might have skinned them. And they'd serve it. What is...
I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
I'm not optimistic, but we'll give it a try.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cuttings will continue.
Maybe Hugo Kupka can wait.
Rosaria will never be saved. Unless we save her. Tell Matt to beg Sid's aid. And tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid, where are you?
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive? He's gone.
We had found a survivor. Oh well. Cheery! Oh well.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
Release. Alright. So they just... it's a whole bag of their dust. Mortal remains. When one finally succumbs to the crystal's curse, the last remaining ether held within one's body is finally released, causing the lithified flesh to crumble and create the dust synonymous with the bearer's passing. Alright, time to go to Riddick's Jump. Crooked Nash's Pier. It'd be nice if there were more Imperials. They would have it coming. We'll wait for now. We'll just ignore enemies for now. I see no reason to really do random encounters. Yeah, that's right. Is it when it's like a new enemy type I can practice against, or just going to an area for the first time? Oh, speaking of, what are you? Oh, you're different. Oh, bounty? Ahriman rank C? What? Notorious marks. Say, Ahriman. Every now and then, Clive may encounter creatures larger, faster, and more ferocious than most. While flight is always an option, defeating these notorious marks can earn him not only renown, but also rare materials that may be used to craft new gear or upgrade existing items.
You think it's spotted us, Torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball.
I didn't time that well at all.
Over here! Waken winds!
wow. Charge shot was enough to take it out. Okay. Well, that was fun. Oh, that was a lot of money.
You didn't see that coming.
Ah, it's funny because it has a giant eye. That's neat. Well, I'm going to assume the notorious mercs are all like little boss monster hunts, which is fun. There's a rank C, which I assume is the most basic bitch low level of them, but that's okay. Gotta start small, right?
That must be the bridge.
Tonberry fight went. Oh, I'm sure it'll be there. Wrong thing. Oh, I need to hold it, that's right.
So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
Oh no. The bears are all gonna come back as the bearer orphan of cause.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
Alright. Return to Martha's Rest, you say? Might as well, right? I'm gonna hope this is fast enough.
We've been speaking with the Blood Axes about how best to protect the village. We won't let this happen again.
They won't question how I teleport into town. Sid has his ways.
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our ministrations.
Arthur's a stout soul, all right. Anyone else would be out cold after what she's been through.
I was coming out hope for desert area just to see a cactuar. I think it looks like Dhalmekia might have desert area, but we'll see. We looked at that one already. Is this new? No, it's the same too. Okay. Makes sense. Those aren't different at
It's
all.
not fair, Sid. Death shouldn't be the only choice. The only way to be free of all this.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bears.
Jesus Christ, Mom.
I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire.
Why is she so
Nothing but
evil?
a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all?
Yeah, and CK3 time
My
and
mother
play.
obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them. preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Was complete. I keep forgetting that I could put the experience thing on. That's okay. Again, I think I'm perfectly fine level-wise. Oh, it's a black blood too. Oh, I'm not completely poor. I have plenty of those I can sell. Alright. The Fallen Gate. Oh, no, Clav inherited all of Sid Lipsy's friends. Maybe that's why he and Jill seem to know. There's a side quest here. That's the only side quest right now? Okay. Let's get next to the side quest, and I'll do that next time.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Found her. I'd rather not bump into them again.
Try not to move. You'll only make it worse.
Alright, so next time, we'll go to this man with his chocobo and see what he wants. I don't know when next time will be. It'll be sometime. Oh, how many do I have? 13 troll ability points. Yes, good night. Do I want to mess with any of these right now? I mean, Mastering Rook's Gambit could have advantages. But I don't think I'm at the point where I'm going to really mix up these things quite yet. Although I do have thoughts. They can wait for next time, though. I went there to save. Off the map. I'm too impatient sometimes. Alright. Yes. Good night. See everyone next time.